Good evening. Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome to the Late Night Chat with the Womb Therapist. I'm going to invite a few of my good friends who show up here every Monday night at 7:30. Let's see. Hope you all are doing well. We have an interesting topic tonight. We're going to be talking about sugar, 4 benefits of letting it go and releasing it from your diet. So give me just a few more minutes. I'm inviting a few people into the room. All right, I think that is enough. So hello. Hey, Angela. Hey, Woody. How are you? So we're going to be talking about the 4 benefits of eliminating sugar from your diet. But first, I want to introduce y'all to my special guest. Look who was hiding down there on my lap. Say hi, Bailey. You gonna say hi? Look, say hi. Hi. Everybody's downstairs eating and they needed Bailey out of the way. So Bailey is going live with me tonight. All right, so if you're on here, make sure you guys tag your friends, share this to your page. If you do any watch parties and they are asking questions in there, make sure they come to the live page. Look, Bailey, more people are hopping on. Say hi. No kisses for me. Say hi. Look. Say hello. So y'all, Bailey is a teacup chihuahua, so he's only gonna get maybe 2-3 more pounds. You acting shy? You acting shy? Oh. All right, so sit still, okay? So we're gonna be talking about the 4 benefits of eliminating sugar from our diets. Welcome to those of you who just joined. So the first thing that I want to talk about is when you eliminate sugar from your diet, you will experience weight loss as well as improved weight management. A lot of people feel like they cannot control their weight. They feel like, oh my gosh, I'm working out, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I just can't seem to lose the weight. You want to go over there? Alrighty. Hold on, y'all. Go ahead and sit down. That's fine. I want to, my thing doesn't look clean to me. All right. That's much better. All right. So, weight loss and improved weight management is a benefit of releasing sugar from your diet. Okay. So if you're one that feels like you struggle with weight, especially in the belly area, and we'll talk about that in just a minute, because there's a reason that you gain weight in your belly area when you're addicted to sugar. All right. And sugar is a real addiction. I'm talking about you can be it's more addicting than cocaine. Okay. One of the most addictive drugs on the planet. And the difference is cocaine is illegal. Sugar is legal. You can find it anywhere you go, in any of the trap houses of the Americas, supermarkets, gas stations, grocery stores, department stores. Anywhere you go, you can go and get sugar. Okay, it's hidden in things like our salad dressings, our pastas, our breads, just about anything that we eat. There's sugar in there. Okay, so eliminating. Bailey, don't jump off of the bed. Come here. Come here. Come here. Y'all, somebody's gonna have to come get Bailey. So, weight loss and improved weight management. So you pack on the pounds easily with sugar. When you're on sugar, it's easy to gain weight. You want to know? Try it. Okay. It's not good for your brain, so I'm not suggesting that you try it. I'm just saying that if you keep cakes in the house, if you keep candy in the house, if you keep sugary drinks and soda and things of that nature in the house. Come here, Bailey. Come here. Come here. Come. You are going to experience weight gain, and very quickly. Okay? Here. I don't want you to fall off the bed. So you'll experience weight gain and very quickly just by consuming sugar regularly, all right? So when you consume sugar, you pack on the pounds easily. When you eliminate it, you lose weight and you keep it off, okay? It is one of the foods that makes you gain weight the fastest. I'm telling you, sugar, all right? Sugar is an empty calorie, meaning that it provides the body with zero nutrition. So it gives you no nutritional value at all. And that empty calorie is kind of misleading, because when you think empty calories, you think no calories, but really it's usually high in calories, because when you think of sugar, think of anything that has its own sugar content, and then think of refined added sugar to that thing. My mom wanted sweet tea the other week, and she goes, "Get me a sweet tea." And I was like, okay. And she's like, "But before you get it, I need you to tell me what the sugar is on the nutrition facts." I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Oh my God, Ma, this one's 380 milligrams." She was like, "No, thank you." I said, "Well, I'm gonna keep looking." The one that's like really sweet had like 800 milligrams of sugar. It was ridiculous. And I want to say it was the Pure Leaf brand tea. So we're taking in these enormous amount of sugars in the things that we do daily, not realizing just how much sugar we're taking in. We take in a lot of sugar as a people in the country of the United States, okay, in the Americas. So sugar is an empty calorie, meaning it provides the body with zero nutrition, but it's high in calories, although those calories are empty, meaning they give you no nutritional value. So some examples are sugary drinks, such as juices. Be careful the juices that you're giving your children. All right. When I would send my son to school, I packed his lunch because he couldn't eat lunch at school because everything had dairy or, something in it. And I preferred to make his lunch than to allow him to eat at school. So, he could have juice every day, but I didn't send juice every day. Sometimes I would send a small bottle of water, and sometimes I would send a juice brand that was 100% juice. It did not have extra flavoring. Natural flavors was not in it. Dyes was not in it. No preservatives, no added sugar, none of those things, because over time you have to understand what that does to your children's brain. Okay, there is no coincidence that we have a lot of children on IEPs or individualized educational plans. Ask me how I know. I was a social worker. I had children in the school system that had an ADHD diagnosis. They were seeing a doctor to get their prescription, and then I had to show up monthly or bi-monthly for their IEP meetings. It's a vicious cycle, okay? And I had an issue with labeling certain children because I felt like poor diet and poor lifestyle was the reason for their mental health. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So moodiness and behaviors and attitudes and, when people don't want to be bothered, a lot of that ties back to what we're eating and drinking, okay? Especially kids, because we control that. As the parents, we control that. So I remember having a family, a lot of kids, some mom did what she did, cut coupons or, whatever she had to do to feed her children. But the one thing that I told her, and, was not to bring shame. I said, listen, you're going to have to replace these Kool-Aid jammers. You're going to have to replace these Capri Suns. You're going to have to replace everything that you could think of that had sugar and dye and Gatorade and Powerade. I said, you got to take them off of that, because the identified client was having issues, but so was his siblings. And it was because of what they were eating, nuggets and fries and all this processed food, all of these sugary drinks and sodas. And you cannot thrive off of that, and so these kids were physically inflamed, and these kids had mental health issues as a result of their diets and the stress in their environment. It was a combination of things, but as we'll talk further, you'll see how this ties back to nutrition and diet. So high calories, empty nutrients. So juices and sodas and candy. Gotta put it down. That my son, he doesn't get to partake in much, but when I let him partake in candy, he loses his mind and he's like, I need to go back to the dollar store. Can I go back today? I'm like, you're acting like get your dog, because he's whining. You see him? Yeah. He's acting like, I'm like, you're acting like an addict, RJ. But the reality, why can't you put him in the live? I already put him in the live. Oh. Okay, go out. You guys are disturbing the live. Close the door. Nyla, close the door. So, close the door. Thank you. So, hi, Deborah. Welcome, welcome. So, I seen firsthand what sugar does when you give it to your children and how you crave it. So, as adults, I understand the adults that I work with in my program are like, oh my God, Nicole, I'm hoping this can help me get over this sugar cravings that I have. It's an addiction. It's real. But you have to have self-discipline. That is how you are going to kick the sugar habit. It may feel like it's hard in the beginning. You may be dealing with sugar headaches in the beginning, but I promise you, once you get over the hump and you reset your body, either by detoxification or doing a fast, water fast, juice fast, whatever kind of fast where you're abstaining from cooked foods and you're only eating things from the earth, you will reset your body. You will get rid of the sugar cravings. And we're going to talk about that in a minute too, because when you have sugar cravings, you also have an overabundance of parasites in your body, all right? They crave what they want. And so you have to get rid of them to also get rid of the cravings. I mean, if you suffer with candida, you have too much sugar in your body. You're consuming too much sugar. So we'll talk about that later, all right? So food items with added sugar turns into glucose and is stored as fat in the body. So it's an empty nutrient, but as soon as you eat it, it turns into glucose and is stored as fat in your body. So swap out those sugary drinks, the sodas, the Gatorades, whatever juices you have your children on that are not 100% juice, the Pepsis and the Cokes and the whatever soda, all right? Especially Gatorade and Powerade, y'all. And I know that kids who are athletes take that in because you think you're replacing electrolytes. There's other ways to do that from a natural source. Gatorade, Powerade, and the like have a higher burn, I'm talking about in the colon going down, than soda does. So you know how strong soda is when it hits the back of your throat and it burns, right? You don't feel the burn from the Gatorade or the Powerade necessarily when you're drinking it, but it burns more than a soda does when it's going down, okay, passing through the colon. So swap out sugary drinks and foods for healthier alternatives such as fruits. You're always going to hear me promote fruits, the highest vibrational food on the planet. Vegetables, right? And minimal grains. So I'm not talking rices. Rice is sticky and gluey during digestion. I'm talking about alternative grains like quinoa, for example. That's easier on the digestive system. It's a better grain to digest. If you can omit grains altogether, especially if you have stomach issues and digestive issues, that's going to be the quickest way to help repair that, coming off of all of the dairy, which is mucus forming, the grains, which are sticky and gluey during digestion, your meats, which are highly acidic, and the seafoods, anything protein, animal protein, seafood protein. You want to come off of all of that stuff to help heal your gut and heal your colon if you have issues in that area. All right, so swapping out things for healthier alternatives such as fruits, vegetables, grains, healthier grains, minimal, keep them to a minimum, which helps keep your blood sugar levels naturally lower. All right, so I want to speak to this really quick as it just crossed my mind. So a lot of adults that I know have type 2 diabetes. A lot of adults that come into my programs have type 2 diabetes. And so what's happening when you're dealing with type 2 diabetes is your pancreas is not working properly in the digestion process, right? It's responsible for metabolizing sugar, just as your adrenal glands are responsible for metabolizing sugar. And when they're weak, when your adrenals are weak and it's not able to properly metabolize sugar for you to utilize, you'll be the one suffering with chronic yeast infections. The same for the pancreas. When the pancreas is weak and it's not processing your sugars properly during digestion, you're going to have increase in your blood sugar levels, right? So your sugar spikes. Nicole, I can't eat fruit. I can't eat citrus. I can't eat this. I can't eat that. It spikes my sugar. Your pancreas is not working. Okay? We need to get that restored. So we have to fix that gland in order for things to work properly. So that's sidebar. That's if you're dealing with type 2 diabetes, you have to restore function to your pancreas so that it can properly metabolize sugar during digestion. Okay? So eating foods on a regular that contain added or refined sugars makes the body insulin resistant, which increases belly fat storage. So that's part of the problem, okay? A lot of you could be dealing with stress, which increases the cortisol, which increases belly fat. But there's a lot of us who are taking in sugar on a regular basis, sometimes without knowing. Like I just said, it's in a lot of our salad dressings. It's in pasta, if you eat a lot of pastas, breads, other carbs, other than natural sugars that are found in fruit, okay? When you're doing that constantly, day in and day out, improperly combining your food, eating starches and proteins together, things are breaking down into sugar constantly, right? The body becomes insulin resistant, which increases your belly fat storage. So we want to address that. We want to make sure that we're taking care of that. So that was number one. When you eliminate, one of the benefits of eliminating sugar is weight loss and improved weight management, meaning you'll lose the weight and keep it off. Thank you to those of you who are joining. Make sure you share this live. Again, if you have shared it or if you started a watch party, if your people are asking questions within your watch party, make sure you tell them to come to this live, come out of the watch party and actually come to my page and come to the live so that I can answer any of their questions. All right, so that was number one. Number two is increased energy. All right, sugary foods give you a high. So at first you feel like, woo, I need that boost of energy. I kind of feel good. And then what happens? The same thing that happens when you drink coffee. It makes you feel good for a little while. You feel like you need that cup of joe to wake you up, and then you crash and burn. All right, so sugary foods give you a high followed by a crash and burn, which depletes your energy and makes you feel lethargic and sluggish. Let me tell you, I had an amazing time yesterday at Vegan Vibe Series Market out in Concord. Shout out to Marathi Howie. We have a couple more weekends to go, so make sure if you are in the Charlotte, North Carolina or Concord or Kannapolis area, like go. It's amazing. Go show up, support the vendors that are out there. But I had an icy while I was out there, you guys. It was absolutely delicious. But let me tell you, that thing was full of sugar. I came home and I crashed and burned between that hot behind 90-something degree sun and that sugar. And when I woke up, I felt awful. Okay. And I've been on a 2-month detox with my last group. So I really haven't been partaking in sugar in that way, not added sugars or refined sugars. I do drink cold pressed juices and things of that nature, but they are natural sugars. Okay. Not added sugars. But let me tell you, crashed and burned, did not feel good when I woke up from that nap. Okay. I was like, this is not the kind of feeling I want after a nap. So it made me feel very lethargic, very sluggish. I almost felt a little emotional. I was like, what's wrong with me? But it was the sugar. It was the sugar. Okay. And sugars are never the best source for your body to receive energy. It's an empty calorie. It's an empty nutrient. It doesn't provide any nutritional value to the body. There's nothing live about it. There's nothing living about it. It doesn't come from the earth unless you're getting it from a piece of fruit. And we're not talking about that. We're talking about refined sugar. So sugars are never the best source for your body to receive energy. You want to feed your body and brain with nutrient-dense foods instead of the sugar. All right, so you want to feed your body with nutrient-dense foods such as fruits. I'm always going to say that number one. I always tell you to increase your raw food intake. Take in high water content fruit. Okay, so you want to eat fruits because they fuel the brain and the body. The body knows exactly how to compute fruit. It knows exactly what to do with it, right? It brings information and it helps the body with healing. The same thing with vegetables. They are not as high of a vibrational food as fruit, but they provide their benefits, all right, for muscles and other development. So vegetables are great. Calcium, your dark leafy greens will give you calcium and other vitamins. I want to say A, K, just different vitamins. So leafy greens, vegetables, lean meats. If you're a meat eater, you don't want to eat the super fatty part of the meat. If you're a chicken eater, you should not be partaking in thighs and thighs and legs and all the other parts where the veins run through the body. You want to take the breast in if you're a meat eater. So lean meats in whatever form of meat that you eat. Also, superfoods are great. So like you always see me add things like chia seeds or flax seeds or sea moss or spirulina and things of that nature to my smoothies. And that's because they give you a boost. They have minerals, trace minerals. Chia seeds are amazing. I just posted about them over on my Patreon today. They provide the body with a number of things that we should be receiving on a daily basis: magnesium, potassium, calcium, and so much more. So those are the nutrient-dense foods you want to provide your body instead of sugar, okay? Because live food equals energy. So this is why you will have increased energy when you take away sugar and you instead replace it with nutrient-dense foods that are good for the body, that bring information and not inflammation. Because anything processed, anything fried, anything cooked that's not in its raw state and we've changed the composition of its makeup leaves behind acid ash. Okay? And so therefore it's going to be something that the body has to digest. It's usually going to cause inflammation. And the body has to work very hard to do what it needs to do to process that food throughout your body. Which again, when you leave behind acid ash, over time your kidneys are shutting down. Your adrenals are going down. Your lymphatic system is stagnant. 99.9% of man's problems are found in his or her lymphatic system. When your sewage system is not moving, you have lots of toxicity within your body, which also causes you to feel lethargic. Your energy is depleted and you feel, what's the other word I was looking for? Sluggish. Okay? So you have to take care of your body so that lymphatic system can move, so those kidneys can filter properly, so that those adrenals can work and function properly and do all they're created to do. All right? Metabolize sugar, minerals, heavy metals, iron, all of the things. So when you're lacking in those things, when it's not properly metabolizing sugar, the yeast infections, when it's not properly metabolizing your irons, iron deficiency anemia. Okay? When you're mineral deficient and you have aches and pains and that's a sign that inflammation is in your body. That's a sign that your organs and glands, your eliminative organs and glands are shutting down. That's never a good thing. Having sewage locked in your body is never a good thing. Imagine if the people that you put your trash out for every week stopped coming and you're stuck with your trash. What's happening? It's piling up. We're going to have a fly problem. We're going to have all kinds of problems, right? It's no different than within your body. So make sure that you replace your sugary foods with nutrient-dense foods so that you can increase your energy, okay? When you exercise and eat the foods that have a positive effect on the brain and the body, you increase your energy levels as well, all right? So that was number 2, increased energy. All right, the third thing that kicking sugar to the curb will do for you is improve mood, focus, mental clarity, and health. My God, that's a mouthful. Because we got some moody folks walking around here. We have people who can't focus, have all these ADHD diagnoses. We have people who have mental health issues when all you have to do is clean up this head cavity and a lot of that can dissipate. I'm talking about serious stuff. I'm talking about schizophrenia. Okay? It's acid in the head cavity chewing things up. If you take care of your body, if you're mindful about what it is that you're eating and consuming, if you get things done such as ear candling to get that stagnant lymph to move, get on an herbal protocol to get that lymph to move, you can significantly change your mental health. You can significantly see improvement in your mood, your attitude, your behavior. You'll have mental clarity. It's like the clouds part. People literally say that after an ear candling session. People literally say that after they've been on an herbal protocol for things in their head cavity, their brain, and their nervous system, and the upper circulation formula that opens up the vascular system in their head cavity to get things moving. Okay, so sometimes people are like, I want to start this business, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I just can't focus. I just don't have the capacity to do this. I don't have a lot of the times it's you're eating too much sugar, and or you have a lot of fogginess in your head cavity because you have a lot of mucus and acid and toxicity up there. The sewage is not moving. And that will cause you to have everything that I just named. Moodiness, issues with focus, the lack of mental clarity, and health issues. So taking sugar out of your diet, taking sugar out of your children's diet will significantly improve your mood, their mood, focus, mental health, mental clarity. Okay? So sugary foods and drinks increase moodiness, mood imbalances, stress, poor eating habits, and feelings of tiredness and exhaustion. That's a lot of people's problems. You ever encounter a nasty person at the store? That's a lot of people's problems. Diet, poor. They're stressed out. Body is in constant flight or fight. Go and get a massage. Come and get an aroma touch. It will change your life. The 8 essentials oils that are incorporated in that touch therapy. Not enough of us are touched. Not enough of us are getting what we need emotionally, okay? So when you kick those sugary foods and drinks, if you don't kick them, you'll have increased moodiness, mood imbalances, stress, poor eating habits, and feelings of tiredness and exhaustion. The more you give into your sugar addiction, because that's what it is, the more you increase your chances of issues with your mental health. Do you get the correlation? Keep giving into your addictions, you're going to continue to have issues with your mental health. It's just as simple as that. So if you want to change your mental health, if you want to change your moodiness or your behavior, if you want to change your levels of stress, you have to change what it is that you're putting in your body. Knock it off with the sugary drinks. Stop going to the gas station, stopping for the 64-ounce cup that you can refill at every gas station that you bypass of soda. Okay, it's the quickest way to get fat. Real talk. And y'all know that I love to keep it real. I don't like to sugarcoat it because you get enough of that in the world. You want to be fat? Keep inflaming yourself with sugary drinks and sugary foods. Or do something about it. And y'all know I'm not one for complaining. Don't come to me complaining when I've offered you a gazillion solutions. Okay? People will come in my inbox, oh, I saw a live and da-da-da. Well, what do I do for this? You didn't stay tuned to the end. Listen. Do your due diligence. And incorporate the things that I say and the value that I give for free, and you can change your life. Whether you come into a program of mine or not. Whether you get on an herbal protocol. Whether you detox with me or not. Whether you use any of my healing teas. Okay? So the more you give into your sugar addiction, the more you increase your chances of issues with your mental health. When you eliminate sugar, you improve things such as depression, mood swings, anxiety, which I hear people use like so loosely. And I understand that people are anxious because guess what? Your moodiness and your anxiety and your panic attacks are tied back to your adrenal glands. And for most Americans, they're not working. They're very, very weak. They are the brains of your kidney. And when you're suffering with kidney disease, poor kidney filtration, acid backing up into your body, you're super inflamed. Whether you look at yourself and you see inflammation and puffiness to the naked eye, or redness, or whether you're in pain, because that's another sign of inflammation. Okay? Or that you have high blood pressure, because that's high levels of acidosis in your body. We have to begin to take responsibility for ourselves and for our children and what we feed ourselves and our children, and accept responsibility for the part that we play in consuming these things that create disease, that create moodiness, that create mental health issues, that creates a lack of focus. You know, I know people that are like, oh my, you can do better than that. And they're like yelling at their kids. If they could do better, they would. What are you feeding them? Because you're responsible for that, not them. They're not grocery shopping. You are. And if you allow them to dictate what you bring in your house, then they're in control. And that's a problem because you're the adult. Okay? I have many of my clients that say, well, my kid doesn't eat this and my kid eats out a lot and it's my fault, but I don't really cook. Let me tell you this. When they're hungry, they will eat what's there. But if all you buy is Kool-Aid Jammers, Kool-Aid Cool Bursts, Gushers, whatever other candy, whatever other sugary drinks, chips, cookies, the whole nine, cereal, which is not for human consumption. It is made in a lab and it is full of sugar and other chemicals. If that is what you give your children on a regular basis, no wonder they have ADHD. No wonder they have ADD. No wonder they can't focus. You're giving them sugar all day long. I cannot stand to see a kid start their morning out with an unhealthy, sugary cereal. You're setting the tone for the rest of their day. The rest of their day. So, when you eliminate sugar, you improve things such as depression, mood swings, anxiety, and mental focus. So let's start accepting responsibility for the part that we play and why things are showing up in our bodies. Why we have a lot of sewage and toxicity and acidity in our bodies and how we're contributing to that by the things that we bring in and by the thing Damona said, I just had a Krispy Kreme donut. I repent. Girl, listen, my niece was in town trying to get me to drive her. We're not going, I don't care. I used to have this rule. Let me make y'all laugh really quick. I used to be like, I don't care. We drive by the Krispy Kreme, and I swear to you, if that hot now sign is on, we're going through the drive-through. I don't care what we got going on, if we're about to be late, we going through that drive-through. This is back in the day. So my niece was in town and she's like, oh, come on, the hot now hours are between. I was like, we're not driving past there. And with the thing years ago that stopped me from eating Krispy Kreme donuts is I found out they had soy in them. And I was like, what? Like, I can handle some of the other stuff, but it's all that sugar and soy. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that to my body. So I just stopped cold turkey eating them and haven't had any in a couple years, some years now. So, and it's so funny because a memory just popped up maybe a week or two ago where I bumped into somebody that was a neighbor of mine in my childhood. And we were in Florence, South Carolina at the Krispy Kreme. This is about 4 years ago. Bumped into her and we were going to get donuts because the hot now sign was on. Terrible. But yeah, go ahead, repent, Damona. You need to. You convicted, you should be. Now I'm just messing. I'm just messing with you. Make your next decision a better decision, okay? So, replace sugary foods with brain foods such as fish. For example, like salmon. It's fatty and it has all of the omegas in it. So, that's an excellent source of brain food. Nuts, okay? Nuts have good fats in them and things of that nature. Leafy greens, fruit, which are high in water content, especially melons. While they're in season, they are flushers. They help to flush the body. I just talked about that in a recent post on Patreon. If you guys are not in my Patreon membership, you're missing out. Okay, there's 4 tiers over there. There's a tier for everybody. The tiers range from $1 all the way to $50. And you can get in where you fit in. Okay, of course, at the $50 level, you're getting a lot of things. You get to speak with me every single month. Get an herbal protocol amongst all of the other things that are in the other tiers. So make sure you do what you have to do. Become a member. Stay plugged in so that you stay on the right track. That's how you stay on the right track. It's the same thing with the company that you keep. I only hang with my friends that are goal oriented. The people who are not on that level, like I used to think that it was crazy to categorize your friends. Like, categorize your friends? Yeah, it's super important to categorize your friends. Like, this is who I hang out and I might vacation with. This is who I might see once a year. But these are my people that I surround myself with in my circle because they're constantly on me about making sure I meet my goals. We used to meet twice a month, but since COVID hit, we only meet once a month. We come together as a mastermind group and talk about what's coming up, talk about what we're getting ready to launch or whatever it is, what we're getting ready to release. We get feedback, we get ask questions out, we get answers back. Those are the kind of people that I surround myself with. So it's the same thing. You got to replace the things that you eat and only keep in your house the things that are going to serve you. And you have to stay plugged in with people that are going to feed you in that way. That is what my patreon.com/womb therapist is. 4 tiers. It's a membership. Stay plugged in. All right. Go and check that out for yourself. If you have any questions, make sure you shoot me an email. All right. So replace sugary foods with brain foods such as fish, nuts, leafy greens, fruit that are high in water content. Because when you begin to detox from sugar, you're going to have sugar headaches, okay? But partaking in those foods is going to help you relieve or help those symptoms, that headache, subside or disappear. All right? Sugar headaches are a side effect of your sugar withdrawal. Same thing with coffee. When you're coming off of coffee, you're like, oh my God, I got a headache. Your body is getting rid of the caffeine. You've overstimulated that nervous system. Coffee is not good for you. Wake up call. I've given out the recipe, not the recipe, but the combination. Roasted dandelion tea and your coconut milk creamer makes an amazing tasting coffee-like concoction. All right. A lot of my heavy duty coffee drinkers have come off of coffee and they stick to that tea and a dairy-free creamer. And they're like, I can do this. Okay. So you have to be willing to try alternatives. You have to be willing to try new things when the things that you're doing are not working with you. Pat, I'm going to kick you out of here. I'm going to kick you out. Because you come to these lives all the time and you're like, no Vaseline, no coffee, no chips. Just read your ingredients. When you become an avid label reader, you'll realize the things that are not good for you. Coffee is dehydrating. It dehydrates the body. It dehydrates the body. Your body's already depleted and dehydrated from the cooked food that you take in. A lot of us take in 3 meals of cooked food. I have not done that in years. I eat 1 cooked meal a day, if that. Sometimes I don't even have a cooked meal in a day. Sometimes it's all raw. Juices, smoothies, salads, nuts, seeds, cold pressed juices, whatever. And I never partake in any meal. No steamed veggies, no mushroom, no nothing sometimes. So when you consume all of that food, you keep leaving behind acid ash. Okay? And it's already dehydrating your body. So when you wake up and you start your day with coffee, and most people do not drink it black. They drink it with sugar and cream. Okay? So that's like a triple whammy. And that's why people crash and burn. And that's why people are moody and say things like, don't talk to me until I've had my first cup of coffee. Because they just, you better know who you're dealing with. So, kick that coffee habit. Kick the coffee habit. Okay? No brown sugar, Pat. Agave, honey, if you're not vegan. A natural alternative. Yes. Janae says, coffee is horrible for anxiety too. Yes, because it overstimulates the nervous system. Some of us can't drink it and we're like this, wondering why we're shaking. Because we've overstimulated our nervous system. It's already weak. It's already weak. And so all we're doing is adding fuel to the fire. But we'll save that for it's a neurological issue. Parkinson's, an overstimulated nervous system. That's why people with Parkinson's always shake. All right. I know people who don't have Parkinson's, but they have a poor diet and they shake. Natural herbal teas are not dehydrating. They are actually hydrating, rehydrating, and soothing to the body. Okay. That's why it's very important that you're not drinking caffeine or caffeinated teas. So yeah, To answer your question, yes, teas can be dehydrating if they're caffeinated teas. But when I'm talking about teas, I'm talking about natural, usually loose leaf, healing teas that are going to bring rehydration and are going to soothe your body, soothe your nervous system, soothe your esophagus and your digestive tract. Because so many of us out here got acid reflux. You ain't see that live? I believe it's on YouTube. Or go back to my videos on here and watch it. But a lot of people suffer with that. All right, let me hurry it up because I want to try to keep this video. Yeah, I'm right at 40 minutes. Okay, so that was number 3, you guys. Number 3 was improved mood, focus, mental clarity, and health. Hey, Sunlight. Thank you. So make sure you handle that. Suzanne, this is a great topic, and it's one that I'm going to address pretty heavily in the webinar that you suggested. And you guys, thanks Suzanne, because I'm going to be doing a paid live webinar for parents who are concerned about their kids going back to school. And if you're in North Carolina, even though for right now it's all remote, you need to be focusing on what you can do to boost your child's immune system or your children's immune system, not focused on you scared that if you send them to the schoolhouse, they're going to come back with COVID. That should be far from your mind. Focusing on keeping them healthy is what should be your focus. That should be your main focus, boosting their immune system. And so I'm going to talk heavily about sugar because a lot of parents give their kids sugar to satisfy them, and it's not good. It's not good. The Capri Suns, the Kool-Aid Jammers, I mean, when I walked in BJ's the other day, I was just like, oh my God. Like, they have a section of the bad stuff, but they have a section of the good stuff. You got to get the honest kids. I get my son's juice from Aldi's, 100% juice. The color, the fruit punch has color, comes from beets. It's natural. It's not extra added flavors. So I'm not preaching to you, or I'm not judging you for what you get. You have to know better in order to do better. But when you come here, it's for me to equip you with knowing better so that you can do better by yourself and better by your children. Don't come here and get high on a Monday night and then don't take none of the information that I get and implement it into your life. This was just a waste of your 40 minutes otherwise. All right, so let's get to number 4. Number 4 is kicking the sugar. Eliminating the sugar from your diet will significantly reduce inflammation. Sugar, as soon as it enters your body, causes inflammation. As soon as it enters your body, causes inflammation. I had an iridologist look in my eye one time, and I told him, I said, sometimes when I eat certain foods, like right away, it feels like I feel like a knot in my colon. I'm like, is that fibroids? Like, is that what fibroids feels like? And he's like, let me take a look in your eye, whatever. And it wasn't fibroids, but there was something in there, which is gone because I've been detoxifying my body for the last 3 years. I detox with just about every group. But I would partake in certain things, usually something that has sugar in it. And immediately I would feel this. The same thing would happen if I ate broccoli with garlic sauce, which has hoisin sauce in it, which has gluten in it, from a Chinese restaurant. Like, you know, I don't eat meats or whatever from a Chinese restaurant, but sometimes I would get my son loves their broccoli, stir fry or whatever. And every time I would eat it, immediately I would feel that whatever that was, it would just blow right up and I could feel it right in my stomach. And I'm like, what is that? That is something in my colon. And as soon as it enters my body, it inflames it immediately. So I want you to understand that eating sugar brings inflammation to the body immediately. Just like that. So inflammation causes, guess what, you guys? Chronic pain, headaches, and food allergies. I'm going to say that one more time. Inflammation causes chronic pain. So for those of you who are suffering with joint pain, achy joints, in the morning, you got to warm up like you a 1967 Buick on the side of your bed because you're so stiff. And you in your 30s or 40s. Like, that's too old to be stiff when you wake up. But it's your diet. excuse me, I'm gonna say you're too young. You're too young that you got to keep alternating in the bed left and right, because your hips are hurting you in the middle of the night. That's acidic joints. You have way too, Pat, I'm about to kick you out. You have to get the sugar and other inflammatory foods out of your diet. If your hips hurt you in the middle of the night, if your knees are bothering you, if your ankles are bothering you, you're acidic. Pain is acid. Acid is pain. You hear me say it all the time. Especially when you eat sugar, that inflammation causes you chronic pain, it causes you headaches and food allergies. And I want to speak to food allergies really quick, because if you are allergic to the things that come from the earth, like apples, I know people who are allergic to apples, their tongue itches. I know people who are allergic to avocado. Avocado ain't nothing but fat. You should not have an allergic reaction to an avocado, okay? If you're allergic to nuts and seeds. I remember when my son first got his allergy test and he was allergic. He had so many food allergies. It was ridiculous. I was like, what in the world? But I realized what I did in utero. I was a vegan prior to, and I was starving during my pregnancy. And before I got my midwives, I let the other OBGYN talk me into eating meat. I was like, no, I can't do that. I haven't had meat in years, I don't know how my body would respond. She was like, well, then be hungry then. Is pretty much what she said to me. Like, be hungry, sis. Either you're going to quit complaining to me or go eat some meat. And one day I got desperate because I kept feeling like I was going to pass out. And I was like, I can't. Like, sometimes I would be home by myself. So I'm like, I can't pass out and nobody's here to, and then I was dealing with sciatica because I lost my job and I was afraid of the future and money. That's what sciatica is from the emotional perspective. It's hypocrisy. It's being a hypocrite because we say we have faith, but honey, it was not activated. And I was so afraid of the future and afraid, like my income was very significant to my household. I was like, what's really, God, that's what you're about to do right now? And so sciatica kicked in and I could be walking and just fall, leg give out. And I'm like, oh my God, like I can't. I would go to the stove to try to cook for myself. I couldn't. I would get dizzy. I would have to sit down. So at the time, my husband would literally prepare meals for me to just put in the oven. And I go sit down, go get it when it got hot and sit back down. All right, pregnancy was not fun for me. Threw up for 7 months straight. I threw up the whole entire 10 months. I was pregnant for 43 weeks. But at month 7, it subsided to weekly. And I didn't find out until after, because nobody told me that there was a such thing called hyperemesis. And that's what I was suffering from. And, so once that happened, so anyway, my son, I say all of that to say my son came out with lots of allergies as a result of me passing on a lymphatic system to him that was very acidic because I partook in meat for a good chunk of the latter part of my pregnancy. Okay, so if you're allergic to things that come up from the earth, you have high levels of acidosis in your body. So 1 week he broke out from strawberries. The next week he broke out from avocado. Like everything I started to introduce into his diet, he was breaking out, having an allergic reaction. And I was like, it's more to it than this. Something else is going on. He had a lot of swollen lymph nodes. And I've told this story before, like the doctors were ticked off with me. They wanted me to go to hematology, oncology. I said, no, ma'am, we don't have cancer going on over here. What are we going there for? She's like, well, I'm a doctor in my license. I said, and this is my son. And if he dies, you'll get away with murder. You cannot replace my son. So what we going to do here? Since you want to keep sending me around to all your staff and you're avoiding me, keep the $1,000. I will chuck up them deuces and be up out of here. And literally went to my altar, prayed to my ancestor, aka my father, who passed on when I was 11 years old. He's on my altar. And I said, I need you to send me an answer. I've done everything in my power to heal this baby. And I need answers. In less than 2 weeks, I got the answer. It was the upper cervical chiropractor. It changed our life forever. Okay. So we have a story out. I need to upload it to our YouTube, but his upper cervical chiropractor has RJ's story on his page, and I've shared it here on my page before. So if you go back and look, you might be able to find it. So anyway, when you're allergic to things that come from the earth, you have too much acid in your body. You're highly acidic. Your sewage is locked in place. Your lymphatic system is not moving. You're dealing with obstructions and you're dealing with congestion and stagnation. Because you should not be breaking out from apples. You should not have an allergic reaction to avocado. You should not be having an allergic reaction to nuts and seeds. Those things come from the earth. And what's happening is, even when you put in the good, it's pushing out the bad. Acid causes a breakout. It causes a rash. It causes eczema. It causes psoriasis. So it may look like one thing initially, but really your body is just pushing out the toxicity, okay? Because the other two, kidneys, your skin is your largest organ, living, right? It's the third kidney. When your other two kidneys are not filtering properly, it takes on the brunt of things, all right? So when you're dealing with open pores, when you're dealing with crater holes in your face, when your skin is not clear and you have blemishes and you have bumps and you have rashes and you have red cheeks, you have rosacea, you're highly acidic. You have a lot of toxicity in your body, and it's pushing out through your skin, dandruff, pushing out through your scalp, which is an extension of your skin, because your other two kidneys are not working optimally. My YouTube channel name is, you can search Womb Therapist in the search bar and it'll pull my page up. So if you're breaking out from things of earth, you need to get on one of my detoxification programs, either my group detox program or come into an individual program and work with me one-on-one by yourself. All right. I recently read in an article that inflammation is linked to dementia, Alzheimer's, and other brain disorders that impact aging and mental health. Sugar will make you age, and quick. It'll make you age. It'll make you fat. Okay? And it will have an impact on your mental health, especially when you consume it on a regular basis. And if you don't, and then you go and partake in something that has a lot of sugar, you'll start craving it. You'll want to keep going back to that place. You'll want to keep having another slice of that thing, because that's what it does. It's addictive. It is a chemical. It is a drug stronger than cocaine, and it's legal. You can find it everywhere you go in the form of candy, juices, sodas, cake, donuts, cookies. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. And so I do a lot of ear candling. If you did not go over to my Instagram today, I posted an old live from a few years ago where I ear candled someone on their birthday and they wanted to go live. So you actually get to see me in the midst of an ear candling session. And I teach people all the time, if you don't address your head cavity issues, you will have dementia later in life. You will have Alzheimer's. That will be you in the nursing home or whatever home that you are in your latter days. Okay? And it's because you're having this, your signs were there. Your memory loss in your 20s and 30s and 40s, that's early to have memory loss issues. Where did I park the car? Where did I put my keys? Where did I put my phone? Losing stuff. And like, really? Like, sign of high levels of acidosis in your head. Chewing on your brain tissue, okay? Causing you to have memory loss. Causing you to have thinning, balding, graying. When you're thinning and balding, it's because your follicles are being damaged and destroyed as a result of the amounts of acid in your head up underneath your scalp, destroying it. Graying is not normal. Go to India. Go look at those people that are 75 plus. They're not gray. Because they drink from their springs, okay? They drink from natural sources of water, and they eat well. They don't gray. We gray because we eat nothing but processed dang blang food. Pat, no brown sugar. It's still sugar. It's still sugar. Still sugar. All right? Replace it with agave. Replace it with honey. Replace it with a natural alternative. Or don't consume it at all. That's always an option. A lot of people that drink my teas are not bitter. Okay? None of them. Because I want people to be able to consume them and without sugar. If you want to partake in sugar, I like agave in my tea. I sweeten my teas all the time. There are a few of my teas that are sweet enough I don't have to do that with. My anemia blend, I don't have anemia, but I still partake in it from time to time so that I can make sure that I'm getting my proper iron in from a natural source. And it's sweet and doesn't require sugar. Okay? So, if you don't cut the sugar, the inflammation is going to link back to dementia, Alzheimer's, and other brain disorders that impact aging and your mental health. All right. When you eliminate sugar, you decrease inflammation in the body. You also can significantly reduce joint and muscle pain as well as nerve pain. So when you decrease the sugar, you decrease your pain, because acid is pain. All right. Inflammation is a result of acidosis, which equals pain. So when you do that, you can reduce joint pain, muscle, and nerve pain. All right. A combination of increasing raw foods in the form of fruit and vegetables, increasing your water intake, decreasing your sugar intake, or eliminating it completely. Exercising, nothing more than walking. Low impact walking is very, very impactful. It works. And it moves lymph, right? Are some of the best ways to treat your chronic inflammation and reduce your chronic pain in the body. I'm going to say it one more time. Increasing your raw foods, increasing your water intake, decreasing your sugar intake, exercising, simply walking and moving lymph are some of the best ways, the best. All of that I just named don't cost a whole bunch of money. Treat chronic inflammation and reduce chronic pain in the body. Sugar is the reason for obesity. It's more addictive than cocaine, and the sad part is that it's legal. Sugar addictions are real, okay? And so are the parasites that are associated with them. So when you have a sugar addiction, I'm also going to get rid of your parasites, because they're speaking. They're like, we want candy, we want ice cream, we want whatever your favorite candy choice is, or chocolate or whatever. That's your parasites, all right? So sugar addiction is real. It's a sign of increased parasites in the body. It's the reason that you're suffering with candida if you suffer with candida. In addition to the fact that your adrenals are down, it is tied back to your moodiness, it is tied back to anxiety, it is tied back to panic attacks, and it is tied back to chronic yeast infections, because they're responsible for metabolizing your sugar. And when they can't metabolize them properly for you to utilize, you will have increased chronic yeast infections. All right. Your body cannot process sugar with type 2 diabetes because your pancreas is weak. You don't have to live with type 2 diabetes. It's totally reversible. Anything created can be reversed. But guess what? You have to be ready to do the work. You have to be disciplined, and it's painful, but it's necessary. All right. So thanks for tuning in. Let's recap really quick what 1, 2, 3, and 4 are. The 4 benefits of eliminating sugar from your diet. 1 was weight loss and improved weight management. If you're just tuning in, make sure you go back and watch the whole thing. Number 2 was increased energy. Number 3 was improved mood, focus, mental clarity, and health. And number 4 was significantly reduced inflammation in the body. This is my last call. I need to do another last call video and post it out on social, but this is my last call for you to join my next 60-day group detox program, which started today, August 3rd. Most of the people came in last week. They had a week of preparation. They took care of their stuff over the weekend, and our group went officially live today, this morning. We got started, and everybody's doing great, feeling great day 1. But I'm going to tell you, my absolute last day cutoff is Friday. Once we get to Friday, that's it, because I do not like to break safety with the camaraderie that's formed within the group and the people that are in there. We already have a nice group, a nice size group. So I'll leave a link in the comments. There's 2 payment options to come in. The 1 payment option is the full payment that's discounted. It is it's $179. The 2 easy payment plan is $111 per payment. So you have to pay $111 now, and then you have to pay your second payment before the 15th of the month. If that time frame does not work for you, we can work out something else. So don't let the money be the reason that you don't get what you need, because it's not about money for me. It's about you getting healed. All right. So I'll leave the link in the comments for the 2 payment options. Friday is the absolute last day cutoff. All right. So if you plan on joining and you have to wait till Friday, let me know in advance. Send me an email, send me a message, however you have to let me know, so that I can know that you're coming and to look out for you. Otherwise, I'm going to cut off access to the new people coming into the group. So you guys, I want to end this so that I can post it over on my other social media. So take care of your body so that your body can take care of you, because you know your health does not happen by chance. It happens by choice. Peace, love, and wellness. I'll come back and answer questions, and I'll see you guys soon. Love you guys. Peace.